I don't know about you, but does that sound like a bumbling buffoon to you, talking there? That's the same Peter. The same Peter with God's Spirit in him. And I think that gives us all hope. The same Peter is speaking and thousands of people are finding life. But what can we learn today? What can we learn today from this? I think there's loads of good stuff in there, but there's two key things for me at the end that I think kind of apply to where we're at. It says they followed a daily discipline of worship in the temple, followed by meals at home, and every meal a celebration, exuberant and joyful. There's the discipline, then the joyful being together. They went and worshipped at the temple. Now, I'm guessing at the temple they probably didn't have multimedia and a rock band and a cool preacher who can do comedy and stuff like that. And it was probably not the most exciting thing to do in the world. But they still did it. They didn't have fireworks. They didn't have crowd surfing. But they had their God and the discipline to go and be with their God. I think as a community it's key that we seek God and we have a discipline to come to God. I mean, how you do that is down to personal choice and the way your brain works and stuff. But I'm going to try and put some stuff on the website, just some short things that will help people if they want to develop some sort of daily routine. The other thing is coming together as a community, the exuberant coming together, the celebrating, seeing each other's needs, enjoying each other's company, loving each other, big parties. Does that sound like church to you? It should. It should be a party. We should enjoy ourselves. We should enjoy each other's company. We should be extravagant as well as being disciplined. And earlier on it says about the sharing of resources. Now I'm not suggesting everyone sells all their worldly goods. But I think we have a discipline as well with our money to support what's going on. Maybe a way that we can make a central fund so that we can help people. Because if we're always penny pinching and just trying to run things as a business, it's not going to be a healthy, God-living way to do it. But we need both of those things. But you can't have one without the other. You don't want this dry discipline, this making yourself do something just because you feel you should, without the relationship. But you don't want it to be all party and no discipline either. It needs to be a balanced diet of the two. But how do we work that out? How do we find ways of doing it? I've tried, I'm not a big fan of paper, but I've tried to put on paper something that I think kind of helps me think about it. A common code, to see if we're singing from the same hymn sheet, if it's the same sort of thing we can say. A discipline, if you like. Not a discipline that says, right, you're ready, you're in the place where you do it, but a way of thinking maybe. So I'm going to read them out and just see what you think, and this is all open to discussion. I've put it in 6 categories. I'll probably over the next few weeks like to look at those categories a bit deeper. And the first one is to seek God. Now to me, the model of church that I like the look of is that if you're facing towards God, then you're in. If you're looking for God, then you're in. Not, do you know enough about the Bible? Do you do this? Do you go to church enough times a week? It doesn't matter how far away you are. If you're facing in the direction of seeking God, then that's the same as being right next to him as far as I'm concerned. And the ways we can seek God, I've noted some down through the scriptures, looking at the Bible, trying to work out what it means for us today, trying to work out what it meant to the people it was being said to. As we spend time in prayer as well, and God reveals things to us. It's also important to see God in one another, in the way that we speak to one another and we speak out of God's love. But also, God always surprises us. We have stuff set in our mind, and God always reveals things, and the least unexpected places, so be prepared to be surprised. Secondly, I put to worship God creatively. Actually, that I don't necessarily mean putting on cool services or anything, but as we gather, it's important for us to find a way that communicates who we are as people, not just one person or whatever. But it's important that we worship through our work and through our art and what we do. Everything we do, every area of our lives becomes part of our worship, not just a thing you do on a Sunday or whatever day it is. The third point I've put is to love one another by sharing the good news in word and deed, not just standing on a street corner and shouting at people. The gospel's living and we're living people, and if we live the gospel, then you can see a living gospel. Also seeking justice. If we love God and love other people, then surely we want to see justice in this world. There's so many bad things going on. We can show our love for one another by sharing our resources, offering hospitality. And just simply by listening to one another can be a massive thing. The fourth point I've put is to grow. If we stay still, if we don't grow, if we stay eating baby food all the time, you just don't grow. And I think part of the journey, no matter where you are, where you're starting, is about growing and changing. To become more of a child of God in the image of Jesus. Part of growing is to have a servant heart. To discern my vocation and encourage others in theirs. By that meaning, what does God want for me? What does God want for other people? Everyone is important as the next. And also to develop gifts. Learn new skills that will enrich our lives and the life together of all of us. There's a fifth point I've put: to live respectfully. To live respectfully of God, of others, even when we don't agree with them. It's easy to be respectful of those we agree with. And also to be respectful of creation. The last point I've put is to rest. Sometimes we can get so busy and so determined to be doing the things of God that we miss what God wants. We don't get a chance to listen to Him. We don't get a chance to recover from things. We don't get a chance just to be His children, to be human beings. So now I've said to take time to reflect on the day. Take time from work to enjoy the good things that God's given us. It's not a sin to enjoy yourself. It's not a sin to be grateful to God for all the amazing things there are in this world. I think it's a really good discipline to make a time in the year to better go away, a retreat, a pilgrimage, go somewhere where it can help you focus. So those are my kind of ramblings that I've put down. I think we recognise it's important that we recognise we're on a journey, and that what I've put there is not a new set of rules for you to feel guilty about, or a set of instructions. Just more kind of categories for us to help us to talk and think about life, to help us to live without standing still, without stagnating. And every journey, especially if you go on holiday with us, every journey has its challenges. But it's about moving forward. And moving forward together. I'm just going to end with a psalm. Psalm 24. Lift up your heads, you gates. Be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, you gates. Lift them up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Who is he, this King of glory? The Lord Almighty. He is the King of glory.